What's up, nigga?
You're watching Fugitive Red-Eye, and welcome to another RANTdom Thoughts, a rant/random thoughts. And I thought I did one about this before, but I guess I didn't, so here we go. I probably talked about it on a Red-Eye Raw or some such, but today I wanted to rant a little bit about tipping and also DoorDash and things like that, just kind of in general, because it is kind of a ridiculous thing in our current society. Now, I have used DoorDash my share of times. I'm not going to pretend I haven't. When I've been feeling fucking lazy and hungry, or been doing a stream and wanted to get something to eat but didn't want to leave the stream, things like that. Like, I've done things like that. But here's the thing that sucks about DoorDash, right? DoorDash costs, like, twice as much on a lot of things to get shit. Like, it's not always, like, twice as much, but there's always an upcharge, like, just on the item's price in DoorDash, not counting, you know, the dash fee, the delivery fee, the tip, all of that. So there's a lot of other factors that go in, not to mention you don't get access to the full menu with things like that, so that can be really frustrating because you don't actually get to order from the entire menu. And on top of that, they can fuck up your order. For instance, a lot of the time they forget my drink. That's like a really common thing. I fucking hate that. They often forget my drink, and then I gotta get it refunded, but I get it refunded in credit so I can just use it quicker, and it's really annoying. Again, I try to use them not too often, but I usually use DoorDash at least once a week, I'm not gonna lie. But in addition to that, I've also had things delivered to the wrong place. Not very often, mind you, it's happened like twice. But then we had the thing that spurred me on to do today's video, and that is tipping. Now, they have you tip your Dasher, which, you know, I get it, that's already part of the business model, right? Like, you tip your pizza delivery guy. Like, granted, tipping culture is a very American thing, and there's a lot of things I fucking hate about it. A lot of foreign countries, if you tip, it's actually viewed as, like, an insult, or, just weird, or not customary. Like, that's the thing with, like, Reservoir Dogs. Mr. Pink was absolutely on point with tipping. Like, tipping is fucking retarded. Like, people are like, oh, well, people don't get paid enough because their job doesn't pay minimum wage. Well, it sounds like a personal issue. It's like, get a job that pays more. If people didn't tip, then restaurants would actually have to pay more. It's plain and simple. Like, to me, the idea of a tip, if I wanted a tip to be, like, a thing that, like, was really... Like, granted, I tip. I do tip. I'm not going to pretend I don't. When I go to, like, a sit-down restaurant, I tip. It's not like I go and I actually don't tip. Like, there's been times where I haven't, where it's been particularly shit service. But if it's a place that I go back to, I do tend to tip at least alright. Mainly because if it's a place that I go back to, I don't want to piss off the people that make my food. Which in and of itself is like a hostage situation type thing. It's kind of bullshit, honestly, to think about. Like, you always have that in the back of your mind. It's like, oh, they're going to do something, they recognize me and I don't tip, or they're going to give me bad service on purpose, that kind of thing, right? Like, honestly, but like tipping at sit-down restaurants has already been part of the culture for like ever. And again, tipping delivery drivers has been a pretty common thing, too. I think it's bullshit that they charge a delivery fee and a tip. Like, just fucking charge what is proper so that you can dish out the money. But no, you gotta tip them. You gotta fucking tip them. And, like, I understand it when it's, like, cash tips, and they don't want to declare those on taxes. But, of course, they should, because that's naughty, and you shouldn't fucking do that. The point is, when it comes to sit-down restaurants and delivery drivers, I can kind of understand it. But the reason that I wanted to make this video today is I ordered DoorDash today, and the fucker asked me for more tip. Fuck off. Like, he's like, oh, there's gonna be a wait time for your food. I hope you value my time. Please tip more. It's like, what? I tipped you $5 already, and now you want fucking more? What the hell is wrong with you, you fucking entitled piece of shit? And by the way, it wasn't even a long wait. It was like maybe like 5 minutes, and then it was here like within like 5 minutes from that. Like, I don't live that far from the restaurant I ordered from. Like, the whole thing was just fucking retarded, and that made me start thinking about it and getting pissed off. DoorDashers have done a lot of shady shit, too. Like, sometimes they'll eat your food and shit. Like, granted, I've never had that problem personally, which is why a lot of restaurants actually seal the bags now. But there have been, you know, Dashers that would, like, eat people's fries or, like, take part of it. Or there's been times where I've heard, again, I've never had this happen, but I've heard horror stories where people's, like, entire order gets stolen by their DoorDasher. But it's not just DoorDash where this is an issue, although DoorDash itself is already fucking gay. Like I said, you gotta pay more for the food, you gotta wait for it, you don't get the full menu. So there are a lot of problems with it. And obviously, like I said, I try to avoid doing it too often, but I probably do buy DoorDash at least once a week. The other issue I have with tipping is when you go to, like, you know, like Little Caesars or Subway or like a Starbucks, you know, a place where you walk up to the counter, you're ordering the item, and then you get it. when those have a spot for a tip, that's really fucking rich. What the hell are you doing that would merit that, getting a tip? Like, you don't tip at McDonald's. In fact, at McDonald's, you weren't allowed to take tips. That was kind of a rule that you had at McDonald's, as you weren't, because I worked there for 3 years. At least back then, you weren't allowed to take tips, and you still can't tip at McDonald's, or Burger King, or, you know, other places like that, but for some reason, you go to, like, Subway, or you go to Starbucks, or you go to Little Caesars, you know, who has pizza hot and ready they've just been keeping in a fucking warmer for God knows how long. You go in, you pay, and then it's like, tip. I never tip at those kind of places where it's like a place where I literally just go in and buy the food and leave. Why the fuck would I tip when I'm not being, like, served there? Like, they're working the counter. And I know that they get paid a proper wage, because that's how it's always been. Those places didn't used to take tips. So, it's fucking bullshit that this shit expects you to tip. And like I said, it's really rich when DoorDashers ask you for more tip. Tipping itself is already a pretty fucking cringe thing. There's a lot of other fucking things and trends that are really annoying with payment processing and stuff like that. Like, how everything uses a mobile app now. They go, will you be using our mobile app? No, I fucking won't. I'm here to drive-thru. I'm going to order through the fucking drive-thru. I'm not going to use a fucking mobile app. I have no interest in using an automated thing. I have no interest in fucking, like, that's the thing I hate with, like, things that have, like, granted, those touchscreen menus and shit like that can be nifty, but here's the thing. If we don't have any of those, like, super, like, fully automated McDonald's here. I think there's only the one in existence right now. I don't even remember where it was. But, we don't have any of those where I live. But I don't want those to exist because a machine fucking up, I can't go and be like, hey, what the hell? Or, like, there's a specific request that maybe it's not in the machine. Like, on DoorDash, half the places I order from, if I want to put, like, no onion on, like, a burger or something, half the time it'll be there, and the other half the time it won't. So if it's not, I gotta go into, like, special things and, like, leave a note. And half the time, they never fucking check the note. They don't check the damn notes. I don't know. I just think that this whole tipping thing is really irritating. DoorDash is really irritating. And again, I hate using it. I only use it when I'm being particularly lazy or doing a stream or something. But it's easily an annoying thing, and I thought I did a rant on it already, so I thought I'd knock one out here. I hope you enjoyed. Have a good one. Toodles.
What am I watching? I don't know, but I hate it.
You fucking Mackay are all the same. One little sniff of pussy and you lose it.